everyone, today I have a few new products to show to you from the drugstore. I went out yesterday and bought 5 new products, so let's get right into it. So the first one is the Infallible Total Coverage by Loreal Paris, and the claims are to have a natural finish, wears up to 24 hours, high coverage and air-light texture. This is what it looks like here. And then the second thing is the Covergirl Outlast All Day Concealer. This is in the shade 810 Fair. The foundation is the shade 302 Creamy Natural. And then the third thing is the Loreal Paris Infallible Lip Paint. That's what this looks like here. This is in the shade 310 Taupless. The next thing is by Essence. It's the False Lashes Mascara, Dramatic Volume Unlimited. Looks like this. And the last thing is the Essence Shape Your Face Contour Palette. Looks a little bit like this. And that's in the shade 10 Ready Set Peach. So you have, hold it up here, you have a contour shade, highlight shade, and blush. So let's get started. I'm going to moisturize my face. I'm using the Olay Complete All Day Moisturizer, and it has an SPF of 15. It's a nice lightweight moisturizer. I have my brows done. So I already have my brows done, just because it takes so long to, well, not so long, but it takes a while to do them. So there. And to prime my under eyes and moisturize, I'm going to use the First Aid Beauty Eye Duty Triple Remedy. And this has, ooh, way too much. This has a peach tone to it, so it helps neutralize the dark circles, and the cream itself helps prep and prime, or prep and moisturize your under eye. Now for primer, I'm going to use the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I use about 1.5 pumps. Like that. And that goes all over my face. This just helps prime your face for your makeup application. Helps keep your makeup on longer. And this one has a tint to it. It's like a nice champagne gold shade. So it gives you a nice glow from within. I always bring everything a little bit down the neck. There, perfect. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the foundation. I'm going to use a brush for the application just because that's what I normally do. I'm going to use, this is from the Morphe Elite collection. Comes in a set. And this is the foundation brush. So I'm going to take a little bit of the foundation on my back of my hand. It's a nice thick texture, so we'll see how it feels on the face. So I'll just, I kind of grabbed a lot of foundation. It's okay. And we'll start buffing that in. So good, good coverage. I always bring down my neck. I have a little bit of redness here, so I'm going to just bring that down a little bit. Go very gently around my brows. Get a little bit of foundation in there, but that's okay. And I always go over the ear a little bit. Perfect. Woo. Butterfingers today. Pull that moisturizer on my hands. There. So after I get everything where I want it and buff it in, I just go in with my brush again and kind of pat down a bit. Just to get rid of any brush marks. Perfect. So far so good. Good shade, good coverage. I do have a little bit of a spot right here, so it seems to be covering that well. It's good. I'm in natural lighting too, so it looks really good. Good shade. I wasn't sure about the shade, but this is the lightest one they had. There is a lighter one than this one. But I am usually one shade in for the most part, depending on the brand and the product itself. So we can go in with concealer now. So this is the new concealer. I did swatch it a little bit, so that's what the applicator looks like. So you just squeeze a little bit of product out. We'll do that for now and see how that goes. I'm going to use my Real Techniques sponge. It's a little bit damp and stained. And I just blend that in to my skin. Like so, very gently. Very nice. Good coverage, brightens up the under eyes. Everything you need in a concealer. This eye seems to be watering today. So hopefully that doesn't create a problem. There we go. And then I always go and add just a little bit more in my problem areas, which is right here, for a little extra coverage. Beautiful. So now I'm going to set everything with a powder. I don't have any new powders at the moment, so I'm going to use what I always use. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and that's in the shade Translucent 100. So I take this, and from that same Morphe Elite collection, I'm using this. It's like a tapered brush, tapered powder brush. And I just go and hit everywhere that I've just put concealer. Oh, that eye bugging me already. Okay, and then I'll put it in just in the areas that I want to lighten up a little bit. Okay, and brighten. So now I'm going to go in with my Marcel face powder. This is also in the shade Translucent. And I just take whatever's in the cap after I shake it, and with the big fluffy brush bring it down my neck, because we did put some foundation on there, and just set the rest of my face in just a bit of powder, like so. We can do our contour. So I'm going to use this Essence Shape Your Face palette, and I'm going to go into the contour shade here, excuse me, with the same Morphe Elite collection. This is the contour or blush brush. So I'm going to dip into this shade, tap a little bit of the excess off, and just start to contour my cheekbones. Okay, and then I'm going to go in and do the rest of my face. So I take a little bit of product again and start bringing that down to the temples and blending. Same thing on the other side. And I always try and get it into my hairline so that you don't see too much white here. If you do get product in your hair, you can just comb it out. And then I'm going to go under the chin a little bit. And then for blush, I'm going to go into the same palette. I don't know why I even closed it. And I'm going to use this peachy shimmery shade. One thing is they are definitely a little powdery. That's alright. Pigmentation is nice in these two shades. So I just take a little bit on my brush, tap off the excess, and then I start adding that onto the apples of my cheeks and then swooping it back. It's a very light blush shade wise. It's pretty. Not usually the shade that I would go for. So that's the blush there. I don't know if you can see. I'm not a huge, I try not to put too much blush on. And then I'm going to try and use this highlight shade. I swatched it earlier and it kind of just looks like, I don't know if you can see it there. Not much to it, but anyways, I'm going to use this Morphe Y14 brush. It is a precision highlighting brush. So I'll dip into that. So I just coat my brush in it, and I'm going to go over the tops of my cheekbones. I'm not seeing much. A little subtle. I like a good strong highlight. That's just me. But I think this palette was $6.99, so I'm liking the contour shade, so even just the contour shade makes it worth it, in my opinion. So since that doesn't have much of a glow, I kind of knew it was going to be like that, so I brought this ColourPop Super Shock Cheek. This one's in the shade Lunch Money. Show you a quick swatch. These are super pigmented, super pretty. And what I do is I take the back of my Real Technique sponge and swirl into the product and then just tap it onto my cheeks, and you can see it doesn't blend flawlessly, so I just grab my fat finger and blend that in a little bit more. Just like that. Same thing on the other side. Down the nose a little bit. Down the nose. Cupid's bow. There. And then you can take your brush after your highlight brush and just kind of blend it in even more. Perfect. I really like their Super Shock Cheek highlighters. I haven't tried their bronzers or their blushes yet, but I do like these. So now we can move on to eyes. I don't have any new eyeshadow, but we have that new mascara. So I'm going to go in with some more ColourPop here. This is a matte shade. It's called To a T. I'm just going to take this tapered crease brush and dip into that shade and pop it into my crease. And just use circular motions to blend that out. the best way to apply these shadows, because they are a cream shadow, is with your fingertips, but I find to blend out like a crease shade, just use a synthetic brush, really get in there to get some of that product on there. That's the hardest part, is getting the product on the brush, I find. So there's my crease shade. I'm going to do very simple today, nothing too extravagant, because I want to focus more on the products, the new products. I have tons of ColourPop stuff, so if anyone would like to see a video on my stash that I have, just leave me a comment down below and I can make it happen. This is a satin shade. This is called Smash. Looks a little something like this. Here's a swatch. Really pretty color. So I'm just going to use my finger and pat that all over the lid, like so. You do get really good pigment with using your fingers. And the nice thing about them is that they are very buildable. And then for my inner corner, since the highlight in the palette isn't the greatest, I'm going to go in with that same highlight shade, the ColourPop one. And this is a Morphe M508. Just a little small smudger brush. And I'm going to pack this shade onto my inner corner. I find an inner corner highlights really brightens up your eye look. Sometimes I'll have no shadow on, just liner or just mascara, and just that pop in your inner corner makes a huge difference. Opens everything up, makes you look awake, alive. Which as a mom, I struggle looking awake and alive, so that's a nice bonus. So let's try out the mascara. So again, this is the Essence The False Lashes Mascara. I'll show you what the wand looks like. It's in the shade Black. So the wand looks like this. It's kind of a tube-like wand, but it comes to a point at the end. Now, I'm not the best at application. I tend to get it all over my face. But the length it's giving me is actually amazing. Wow. And this was $4.99. I usually use the Urban Decay version, which I really like, but it's $21 and it doesn't give me this length. Not at all. Wow. That's one coat. Can you see the difference? I hope so, because that's crazy. I like the slanted or the smaller tip because you can get in there and really separate your lashes with it. And it's easier to get into those inner corner lashes, which I never seem to get coated in mascara. I can't believe my lashes right now. It's amazing. And they're nice and black, which I like. I'm not sure if it comes in any more shades because I saw it on a, they must be new, so I saw it on like a, what do you call those? Like a stand. And that was the only one there. Don't mind my weird face when I do my bottom lashes. Try not to have my mouth wide open. Mascara, really good. I like it. It's giving me lots of volume. So now we're going to go into the lips. So this is again the L'Oreal Infallible Lip Paint. Looks like this. It's in the shade 310 Taupless. And this is, I'll show you the applicator. This is the doe foot applicator. So let's go in. It's a applying very easily. Has a nice texture. I like the shade, very nice shade. It's a nice cool nude shade. Excuse me. It is a glossy finish, so it's not going to be long wearing if you're drinking or eating. It's going to come off, so stash it in your purse, have it to touch up if you want. The formulation, the way it feels on my lips, kind of feels like the Too Faced melted lipsticks. They kind of come in a tube like this, but it squeezes out. So yeah, overall I really like everything. I'm happy with it. I think my least favorite is probably the Essence face palette, only because the highlight doesn't really work. But besides that, I still think it's worth the $6.99 for the contour and the blush. I really like the blush actually. It's totally worth it. So I think, yeah, the Shape Your Face was $6.99. This, the lip paint was around $9.95, I think. The Essence Lash, the mascara, which I highly recommend, was $4.99. These are all Canadian prices also. And the Covergirl Outlast was around $10. And then the foundation was the most expensive. Was around, I think, $16 or $17.99. But you can probably get it on sale at some point. Walmart is always cheaper for makeup, but they didn't have my shade, so I had to go to Shoppers Drug Mart, and it was a little bit more money. But yeah, overall, I think I'm very happy with all my products. So it was a good haul. So thanks for watching. If you have any video requests, comment down below, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.